It's not looking good. Gamers Table Independent Edition. Did you read the book, Cooking with Craig, Magic with Chris, the game design series, Game On? If you want to help keep us on the air, you want to keep seeing more shows like this, hey, click on the link. It's going to be all throughout the entire show. And go take a check out, see if maybe one of the perks is something that you'd be interested in. Anyone who has donated already, thank you very much, and your money is going to go towards keeping the shows on the air. Hello and welcome to the Gamers Table. It is Friday and we're reviewing
Countermeasures.
Customizable card game. The objective of Countermeasures is to defeat your rival through strategic use of your deck of cards. You must use your deck of cards to deal sufficient damage and ultimately deplete your rival's economy.
Oh, I know it's taken quite a while to get to Countermeasures. Unfortunately, we apologize for that. But, when we got around to it, we actually enjoyed it. Yeah.
So in our particular box we had the two base decks, A and B, 4
Alpha
expansions, and promos.
Yeah.
The promos including Armageddon, which is kind of neat if you could actually get it out.
Well, Armageddon's one card from another expansion pack. It's just one that's in there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we'll do Combono Vision first. Cards.
Lots
a lot of cards.
324 according to the box.
Cards.
Dice, pencils, pad of paper, and the rule book.
So we played with the two base decks, Alpha and Bravo, and the Bravo won both times, and then we decided to mix up the decks. Now, with any card, I played the advanced game. The card, any deck of cards, like this deck might win. It all depends on how the cards come up a lot of the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So Alpha might beat Bravo next time we play it. Who knows?
Well, that's assuming we unsort them all and put them back into Alpha Bravo.
Yeah. So we sorted all the cards according to color, and we drafted a lot of the cards, and the other cards we just kind of shuffled in. Here's a section of it, and then we built 60 card decks, and we had some fun with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a lot better after playing the advanced rules. There's more options and stuff there.
Yeah. So the cards come, I should say, in several different types. There's the grayish black ones. They're your assault units. They're what you attack with.
You go in your front line.
Yes. Then there's your war cards and your tech cards in the red and blue,
which they go in the research line behind your front line.
And we've got the green cards that they call them elemental. They're basically environment cards. And you got your orangey cards that are different government types.
And also, some of the assault cards also are artillery. You can place them in the artillery, which can be also ranged. Yeah.
So normally it's 4 assault cards you can have out and 4 research cards out. But there are cards that allow you to put more down. And playing with the advanced rules, you get the 2 range slots as well. The environment cards, you can only have one of them out at a time. So if another player puts one out, it replaces the other one that one of the other guys put out.
But the environment card covers everybody who's playing, not just the guy who played it.
And the government cards, again, you can only have one out for yourself at a time. So if you want to play another one, it replaces the one you currently have down. And then immediately, whatever changes need to be made on the card would be resolved.
Yeah, definitely. Generally, the government affects how many slots you have on your front line or your research. Sometimes they give your economy a boost. Yeah. Sometimes they hurt your economy.
Yes. Well, it depends on if you change it out, yeah.
But it changes it from the base configuration.
Right.
So the idea is everybody gets 7 cards off their deck. It has rules in here to cover playing with 3 players. Almost wonder if he just tucked that in because he knew it was coming here and there'd be 3 of us. But there is 4-player rules, I guess, at their website, but it is not in the rules manual. So if you want to play 4, but it's a head-to-head card game. You're really best off playing with 2 players.
Yeah, we played with 3, and it wasn't bad.
Yeah, we tried to balance out the damage a little bit.
All right, I'll smack Craig, and then Ken, then Craig, and then Ken.
Ken's whining again. I'll hit Craig, fine. Don't kill me yet.
So the idea of this is because you have all the different types of cards that can be played at different times and do different things, there is a lot of strategy in your deck because the warfare and tech cards that go in the back have to be put down first, face down, and then you can activate one of them on your turn. And sometimes they will add to the cards, sometimes they will stop something somebody else is doing, sometimes they're just some kind of bonus. But then you have the combat cards that go, the assault cards that go in the front, that are your attacks, but they're also your defenses, depending on how you lay them down. And some of them have an ambush ability. So if you put it face down, you can wait for somebody to attack it and force it to come, or you can flip it up yourself next round. Haha, I do the ambush ability because it was face down, and again, get more bonuses for it.
Obviously, someone with a really strong assault card can just rampage anything they want because you could choose what you're attacking, which I don't know if I agree with. I don't know if we're playing it by the rules, but we played it to the best of our ability when we read the rules. We could have been playing it wrong because there's a lot of things that are vague and we weren't sure about. We just kind of, okay, it makes sense to do it that way. So that's the way we did it.
What you do is you draw your one card for your turn out of your draw deck, and then you can play the set and research phase, which is bring out your war and tech cards. Now you got 4 slots normally, and you can activate one of them in that turn if you want, or you can go straight to your put out your assault cards. But you're only allowed to put one assault card out per turn. Now you can attack with one if you want, or put it down as defense or something like that. But if you don't activate a war or tech card in your first phase, you can activate it in the second phase after you declare attacks or anything like that with your assault cards.
But you can't set any more research.
Yeah, you can't set anymore. It's just activate if you haven't done it in the first round. Then you just declare the end of your turn and it moves on to the next person.
Our understanding of the rules is when you attack, you can attack any card you want, any assault card on the table. So it would make sense to attack the other assault cards that are in attack mode.
I think that it would probably be a lot better if somebody had defense cards out, you had to target those first before you could target other attack cards. Because otherwise, it's like, why should I bother putting this up as a defense when you can smack my attack card and take it out of the sky instead? When somebody's got like the big battleship or something out with the high defense, you're relying on having one of these type of cards down there that just gets rid of a card in the guy's line or something, or bounces the damage back on him, some way to get rid of that big card. Because it's a big card, you have to get so many 0 cards out to be able to pay for the card. He keeps smacking him, you're never going to be able to get a big card out of your own. You're going to rely on your warfare and tech to mitigate the fact that your assault forces are pitiful.
Yeah, that's what I didn't mention that when we were saying the turns there, or what you do in a turn. So when you're bringing out an assault card, you've got 0s, 1s, 3s, and special cards, and sometimes higher ones. Well, 0s, 1s, 2s, 3s. Sometimes higher, but rarely. And then special cards are very rare in that. There's certain conditions to bring them out. But if it's a 0, you can put it down if you have an empty slot for free. If it's a 1, you have to get rid of one card that's already out there, one assault card, not a war attack, and then replace it with the one you have in your hand. If it's a 2, you get rid of 2 cards. It's not the value on the cards, it's how many cards you have down that you have to replace.
Yeah, when you play a assault card, if you play it in the attack position, you can attack with that right away. And it's like, I got a really nice high attack. I can nail that guy's assault card, and he won't even know what hit him. But if you play but if you have it as attack card, it's a little bit risky because if someone's got a attack card with higher strength than yours, he could target your attack card, and any extra difference of damage gets dealt to your economy as well. Mm-hmm. Whereas if it was defense, it doesn't matter how weak your defense, it'll absorb all the damage and none will spill over to your economy.
Yeah, so these assault cards, they have 2 numbers down in the bottom. The first one is the attack number, second one is the defense number. If, as Chris was saying, it's up, it attacks and defends with that attack number. If it's this way, it does not attack, but it defends with the defense number. So you sort of need to look at the table, so no, this card, it can't attack anybody. Okay, I'm going to put it as defense because at least I won't lose any economy when they attack this when their turn comes up.
Yeah.
There's that. Basically, every step of this game, there's some amount of strategy to what you're doing.
Oh, for sure.
Slap cards out.
Yeah, you kind of want to balance out your decks too. Like, if you have nothing but assault cards in your deck, it helps you get them out there and you can attack people with them. But if you get that one card out there, or if the opponent gets one card out there that's super strong, like Chris says, and you can't defeat it with any of your assault cards, then you're going to have to try and get rid of it with a war or tech card, mostly the war cards, but because the tech usually enhance whatever you have. Like Craig did to me. I had a really super strong single assault card out there. Nothing else, just the one assault card, and he took out a war card and said, no, get rid of that.
That was the carpet bomb, right?
Yeah.
Carpet bomb. So that there are ways around those cards, but it's a little difficult. One thing I have a problem with this game is, like, one of the options to win is by depleting your opponent's deck or making him run out before you do. And
How long is that game?
Yeah, we didn't even think through half our decks before the games ended. Every time we played, there aren't enough cards in here that allow you to draw more cards or force your opponent to discard enough cards or something like that to actually get that win condition happening. And it can be painful when you're only drawing one card at a time each turn, because you're not bringing your hand back up to 7. It's just one additional one, and there's very few cards that allow you to get more into your hand. And that can be very difficult when you're trying to get assault cards down.
Okay, wrapping up for countermeasures. We're almost 13 minutes already.
No, okay, well.
So the theme, warfare. It's sort of what you do, but every once in a while you get cards like the one Ken had out that was welfare. They kept adding 5 to his economy all the time.
If I didn't attack.
It wasn't huge. It's not hugely thematic all the time, but it's not bad.
Well, it's modern warfare. You're not going to see any horses in here.
No.
You're not going to see any wizards.
There is a wormhole, though. It's like, that's weird.
So,
and
yeah.
solar flares.
Yeah.
Well, that's easy to play. Yes and no. Yeah, once we figured it out, yeah, the rules document is a little
vague at times.
Vague and not organized quite in the right order. You know, when it gets to, like, I'm halfway through the manual before it gets to here's how you start playing the game. I know it's a collectible card game, you want to explain all your cards and everything, but what you really want to give people is maybe even on the back, a turn summary with this is what you do in each stage, so you can just lay it on the table until everybody learns. Fun to play. It's a deck builder, which means if your deck is going good, you're going to have a lot of fun. If you draw 7 cards you can't play and you sit there not being able to play while everybody kicks the crap out of you, not so much. So it's iffy. I give countermeasures a 6.5.
Yeah, this one, I'm not going to give it too much more than Craig. You know, it's a good game. The graphics and the cards and everything like that, well, they're a little inconsistent with the artwork and that on it, but it's not a big deal. Overall, the game looks really good. There's a great variety of cards in here. Unfortunately, there's not enough that allow you to draw more cards or discard multiple cards out of your opponent's hands or decks or something like that to actually get that one win condition in. The rule book isn't the best. There are some questions we had with it. The order of, how it's listed, the rules and stuff in there are a little annoying. You do want to mix the cards in this, because just strictly assault or something like that, people are going to start hammering you with the tech cards or something like that, or if they got able to get their big ships and jets and stuff out, they're just going to keep knocking away at you. So it's really hard to make a comeback. There are some ways that you can, directly hit someone's economy. The economy points are a little silly. They're artificially inflated. You can just knock those 2 last digits off, and so instead of 7,500, make it 75. And because, you're rarely dealing like 1s, 2s, 3s, or anything like that, or fractions. It's mostly like blocks of 5, 10, 15, 20, or something like that. So that could simplify things there a little bit. But overall, I think it's a fun game. It's not perfect in any way, but it's a good start and a very good effort for an indie collectible card game. I enjoyed it. And other than that, but because there's some problems with getting through the decks and the rule book, I'm just going to give it a 6.5.
We definitely had a lot of fun with it. There's definitely some strategy. Building the deck, you want to make sure you balance the amount of cards proper. You want to be able to be sure you can somehow get rid of some of those hefty assault cards if they're pounding you. It's fun, and the artwork is nice, and it's a well thought out game, but there are a few things that did bother me about it. So I give Countermeasures a 6.5.
That's it for this episode of the Gamers Table Independent Edition. Tune in next week where we review another game.
Because that's what we do, eventually.
Hello and welcome to the Gamers Table. It is Friday. No, it won't. There's no sound.
I'd start over again.
It's a customizable card game. Customizable card game.
Something like that, you know.
It's a fragilistic card game. It all the cards break the rules that are in the book because that's what they do. Around and around it goes, blowing holes in everybody's clothes.
I need your help. My brother. He's missing.
Nah, so tell it to the cops, dollface.
I have nowhere else to go.
So tell me about your brother.
He works at the university, doing research for several of the professors. Internet searches for strange happenings. Things of that sort.
Strange happenings? What kind of strange happenings?
He's heading to the apartment. Should I stop him?
What the hell is this thing?
Don't make me come back down here again, Carmichael. You need to back off.
Look, Rach, I've got a case. And I need your help. I'm being tailed by lurking strangers and warned off the case by angry cops.
He contacted her, just like you said he would.
Very well. Perhaps we should lend Mr. Carmichael some assistance ourselves.